Welcome to Power Talk Radio, where you can listen and learn from celebrities, icons, and everyday hardworking women. Their stories will empower and motivate you to be the best you can be. Our host, Tonia DeCosimo, is the founder of Power, professional organization of women of excellence recognized, and editor-in-chief of Power Magazine. She is also an author, columnist, and has worked successfully for 30 years in the advertising and publishing industry. Welcome to today's program. Here's Tonia.
Welcome to another episode of Power Talk Radio. I'm your host, Tonia DeCosimo, and we have a great guest today with a great topic. Now, we've all been told that we need vitamin D and that we need the sun to be healthy. But we've also been told that the sun's not good for us, that it causes skin cancer, and that we should be wearing SPF. So, what's the truth? My guest today, she's an amazing woman. She's a professional. She juggles it all. She's a philanthropist. She's got tons of knowledge in skincare. So I am so excited to introduce Elisabeth Thieriot. And she is recognized worldwide for her work as an innovator, an author, a filmmaker, educator, leading professional in business development, and of course, her dedication to philanthropy. She is currently the president of Lionsgate Corporation, founder and CEO of Replete Skincare, which is the best skincare out there, president of Elicosma Productions, LLC, publisher of FSHN Magazine, and she authored the book Be Fabulous at Any Age, and she's also co-authored Discovering Excellent Health. Wow, and that's just the beginning, but we'll let her go on and on. How are you, Elisabeth?
I am well, thank you. Given everything that recently has been happening in my household, it's pretty amazing. I am on the Zoom call.
Good. And you're amazing. You're so knowledgeable in so many areas. You're beautiful inside and out. And you know, I love talking to you because every time I speak to you, I learn so much. And of course, there are things I agree with and things I don't agree with. So today we might agree on this topic though. So let's talk about the sun, vitamin D, SPF. Before I let you talk, I just want to tell you this. I just got my blood work done. I wanted to see what I was lacking, what areas, what vitamins I needed more of. And my vitamin D used to be very low. I think it was like in the teens. And now I'm up to in the 50s. So I think it's because I love being in the sun. And I think that's what's been helping me. So talk to me about this.
This is a very timely topic given our lockdowns that gave people opportunity to see the difference, how they feel, how they sleep or not, by having access to outdoors versus not. I think it's the first time in decades that people are interested in outdoors, in the sun. They actually go and protest to the freedom of being in the sun. And the first one we know happened on the beach in Venice Beach area, because people living there already moved to the beach, recognized how important it is to have sun in their life. Right. And they were the first one to go and fight to the access of fresh air and the sun. So let me brief you first what the sun provides, and then we can argue why would we block it.
Right.
I think let's go from that.
Perfect.
The sun provides strong bones. That means if you don't have a sun, you can be a victim of rickets disease, osteoporosis. One is the bones will get brittle. Rickets disease, your bone become like a clay. And this is why women or men using SPF on their faces end up losing the eye sockets, the jaws line. They all started to kind of melt away like a warm wax. This is from lack of sun. This is side effect of SPF, direct effect of SPF. This is where fillers and collagens and silicones were designed to offset the fallout of using SPF and blocking the sun, accessing the bone structure on your face.
Mm-hmm.
The second, so we are talking bones, so we need sun for the bones. Second aspect that it's enormously important is access to the thyroid. There are over 380 functions that take place when thyroid has access to the sunlight. It's responsible for metabolism, hormone production, mood production, skin density, because it works with the sun to actually produce collagen. The sun produces collagen.
So you're saying
you're talking
about the thyroid. You're talking about thyroid.
The thyroid in connection with the sun creates collagen.
Okay.
Okay. The thyroid in connection with the sun creates hormones that are allowing us to convert the serotonin we get into melatonin when the moon comes out and actually have sleep night. The sun is the one that when eyes are exposed to the sun, not direct, but just by being outdoors without sunglasses, will code the time of sleep and length of sleep and nutrition needed for detox, restoration, and repairs. So it's like a computer that is being controlled by the sun, how to keep you healthy. Okay, we can go on. The same thyroid, since it has over 365 different things, converts vitamin D from the sun. That it's directly responsible for the level of your resilience. And the level of resilience and activity, proper activity of your immune system. So who wants to give that up? But you see, people are being told out of fear to put that, all that aside, and act of fear that sun creates cancer. We're going to go there. Sun does not create cancer. There are irresponsible people, yes.
Yeah, I just want to interrupt. I just want people to know you're not a dermatologist. You're not a medical doctor.
I'm an investigative reporter that studied multiple sciences, that went and connected the dots of information collected by specialists, and then went and put them all together from research.
Right.
This is my job, investigative reporting. So I put that all together based on available research, which only took 30 years.
Right.
And you keep seeing, now they know this, now they know that. Now they say this is good for you. Now they found out this is bad for you. For example, most skincare I could never use, so I ended up using water at first because there was nothing I can use that my body didn't reject. I learned that the base in which they drop things they talk about in the marketing, there are only two things they use as a base. It's petroleum byproduct, which is Vaseline clear or whipped, or mineral oil clear or whipped, and they call that the base. Right. Which is about 90 to 95% of every package. And that base placed on the skin causes cancer at 200% rate. So it's not if, it's when. And that is not my research. This is research I found from, I believe, Harvard University. So by the time you get done with all the research of independent party and you connect the dots like the stars on the sky, you get the shape of things and how they come together. Because each individual, the toe doctor does not study the head. So when you have a problem with the toe, he's only looking there. But if you had somebody that could connect the dots, when you have a toe problem, you would start looking for brain tumors. So the body is not disconnected.
So you're saying that SPF is what is causing the skin cancer.
The basis of SPF all the bases in all the products that a delivery system of SPF, or they tell you they put orchid in there to grow collagen. It doesn't, because the minute you put it in there, it kills it. And when you apply things on your skin that belong on your front gate or back gate of your house in the hinges or the door hinges, like Vaseline, that's all it is. It doesn't belong on your skin. It belongs on a metal in the hinges. And I just saw the other day, I got a leather glue. And it said in there, to remove a spill out of leather glue, use petroleum byproduct. Vaseline or mineral oil will take it up. And we use this as a cosmetics? Seriously? So it dilutes the glue, but you don't think will dilute your skin? You see what I'm talking about? It's like, wow, that's amazing. So there are many things that if we don't check left and right and right and left, we are under pressure, actually, not even belief. We are under pressure to act upon it because these people are professionals. Mm-hmm. So we believe that they are the ones that checked and investigated all the connections of good and bad effects on us. And what I'm finding is that they don't. They just don't. So let me bring you back to the sleep pattern where you get at 4 o'clock from the sun. Mm-hmm. We get serotonin. It's a hormone produced from thyroid. That serotonin becomes the melatonin to sleep at night. That melatonin, when the sun hits it again, guess what? Becomes oxytocin, the feel good, happy person day. Okay? And then it keeps you going till 4 o'clock till you get the sun to start the cycle again. And that's what circadian cycle is when it comes to your sleep, your wake, your creativity. That's why thyroid is responsible for creativity. Mm-hmm. You see, people are creative more in the evening because when they get that serotonin, they're happy. And they had a great day because the oxytocin carried them on. They're creative in the evening.
Yeah. You know, the whole thing.
No, most creative.
You know, listen, we all feel better and look better when we're in the sun. When you have a little sun tan, you're feeling like $1,000,000. I mean, somebody said to me today,
oh, yeah.
Oh, you're so tan. Well, I was in Florida, but besides that, when I'm feeling pale and pasty, I put the sun bronzer all over me. You just look healthier.
Yes.
So
you know, there is an aspect of feeling healthy when you have a healthy glow.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's completely fabulous and it's powerful. The sun is so powerful that I give you it's maybe not a glorifying experience to share, but it shows you how powerful sun is. I was helping to take care of a friend that was passing in the last 2.5 weeks. This is why I haven't had sleep in the last almost 3 weeks. And at the same time, my wolf was transitioning too. Passed last night. She passed on Monday. She had a cancer of liver and it went to the lungs and then it went everywhere. So she was yellow-orange. She was so bilirubin. So what did I do? In the order for her not to have seizures from overdose of what the body was producing due to illness, I would wheel her out in the sun. And within an hour in the afternoon sun, she was pink because the sun breaks down bilirubin. So that way she didn't need painkillers. She had a heating pad. She had chamomile tea to go to sleep and orange peel water during the day to feel positive. I remember her waking up in the morning, I am so sick. How do I wake up feeling good and happy? It was almost like contradictory to her condition. Yeah. So she started to believe she's going to pull out of it because she actually felt good to the last day. You know, this is how it should go, fast and not scary, right? So that's the power of the sun till the very end. It always provides some benefits. So let's go back now to the...
What time should people go in the sun? How much sun should they?
Afternoon.
Okay, so afternoon sun.
Thank you for asking. So the reason why afternoon sun is for us is because it has the least harmful rays for us, in a sense of ultraviolets and all kinds of things that we are so fearful about, because our skin is the most resilient and it doesn't even bother it. So when you combine the softest ray with the strongest skin, you get a good match.
Right.
And our body doesn't even start a proper photosynthesis till 4 o'clock. There are some plants that don't even start photosynthesis till 4 o'clock to pull everything from the sun. So the morning sun is the one that burns you, not the afternoon. You can be all you want afternoon, fine. You go for half hour in the morning, you may get burned because the skin is expanded. It's like a flower. It opens up for detoxification with air. You're supposed to scrub it, loofah, wash it. Its body is detoxifying from 6 a.m. till 11. So everything is open and vulnerable, you know? And that's the time for us to clean ourselves.
Yeah. So if somebody says, okay, I'm wearing SPF, she's not going to change my mind. And again, like I mentioned, Elisabeth is not a doctor. She's done a lot of research. She's very knowledgeable. This is also, you know, your opinion, because other people, you know, there's people out there that don't agree with this. But if
they don't have to, it's their life, it's their health.
Right, right. But if somebody says, I want to go in the sun, but I want to wear SPF, what SPF do you suggest that they use or that they look?
Well, right. So I don't believe in blocking the sun, but I don't believe in burning, right? So you say, oh, wow, what do we do now? So I created a product line that just provides that. First, I created a product to treat the burn because I didn't think it was possible to be in the sun and not get burned until I learned more, you see. Right. I was like everybody else. I would get so burned crispy, a silky dress hurt my skin. But I still slept on the beach because the benefit of how you felt and how everything just worked right, was outweighing the one evening of feeling crispy. So I created the intense recovery that does far more than just sunburn at this point. So later on, I realized, wait a minute, animals don't get burned, but they do protect themselves from the sun. I mean, spend time in Africa and South America, or Maui, where I used to spend many years. It is strong. I mean, you feeling the burn, the heat. So I created, based on, again, research of nature, I created seasonal serums with clays, seaweeds, and other extracts in them, where it provides a natural filtration and strength to the skin, not to get burned, and get all the benefits of minerals, all the benefits of hormone production, all the benefits of whatever else we don't even know our body draws from the sun. Okay? And you would say, how is that possible? I mean, our iron comes from the air. It's elemental form. All of our minerals they become elemental from the air, and the sun is only 2 gases. So how come it affects us, gets into our atmosphere, is one thing in metals, and then hits our skin and it becomes 368 other things. So there is a natural conversion that occurs between biological bodies. So if we don't disturb that conversion, then we have a full benefit of what we need to be healthy, to be resilient, to be strong. So by applying my serums, you get all of that, but no burn.
And this is your Replete.
You know, and you're smart. You go in the afternoon. What?
This is your Replete skincare line?
Yes. This is Replete Skincare. So you have seasonal serums that supports your exposure to the air, changes in elements, that supports you in your interaction with the sun. I call that interaction with the sun. I don't believe in blocking it, but you have to know when to be outside in the sun. So it's afternoon, not before 2:30.
Yeah.
And, you know, 4 o'clock is like ideal. And at least 20 to 40 minutes. I mean, I like my 40 minutes. If you don't, at least 20. Please don't do less, because you need enough time for all these processes to take place. So Once that happens, there's that feel good, the energy. It's almost like you're recharging your batteries. It's so good. If just elevate.
Even with vitamin D, you know, we're talking about COVID, everything that's going on with COVID, and they say make sure you have enough vitamin D and zinc. Well, you know, yet, I mean,
I've been just sent yesterday from my team a video from medical doctors. Again, I find the things to share with people that are value to them. And I placed it on Replete Skincare Facebook page, Elisabeth Thieriot Art of Seasonal Living. So you can go to one or the other Facebook page, and the video is there from presentation of a medical doctor who said, we are not suffering virus pandemic, we are suffering vitamin D deficiency pandemic. I find it so timely. I just posted it yesterday because I got my research back from the day before, so we can talk more about that. So I'm not going to go into depths, just I advise people go to the website and hear the doctors speak so that I feel the confidence of the content.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was very interesting because he spoke 80% of deficiency in this country, this country, this country. The sun is the same. It's been everywhere for generations.
Yeah.
So it's how we expose ourselves. So we're going out and the next thing, the person is white with blocked. What's the point of being outside when you're not getting a sun and air?
Right.
I mean, you might as well be on the treadmill downstairs and not put the chemicals on.
It's like anything else in life. I mean, look, I would consider myself a sun worshiper when I look at other people that I know. You know, if I go to Florida, I have to admit I'm in the sun at 11 o'clock and I probably get out at 4 o'clock, but that's not every single day. But I just love the way I feel. It just, like I said before, it makes me feel better. It makes me look better. But,
you know, you just said something very lovely because you said you're going there before even a noon. So what it tells me is that you've spent enough time outdoors where you build up the resilience for the extended period of time. That's what's needed, because most people's skin is so harshly burned from the skincare they've been using with petroleum byproducts that dilute glue, and they diluting their skin under it, and then hyaluronic acid or another acid and another acid, that the underlayer of the skin is what is exposed and it's burning. The top layer of the skin, if you let it build up to its normal intended strength, you're not going to have it. That's what you're having. You build enough of strength in your skin that now you can be the longer and longer and longer. I can be with my horse out in the fields from early morning to later afternoon. I come back, you can't even tell I was outside. There are no burn marks, no nothing. And I would go with some friends and they come back crispy. And I said, oh dear, you didn't use serum. He says, well, what do you expect? I was out all day. I said, I expected this. Nothing. You know, and they're looking like, how is that possible? I said, it's possible. You feed your skin to be resilient and be outside enough, like what you're doing. So it's okay.
I think it's like anything else in life, everything in moderation, you know, and we all need sun to survive. We need our vitamin D. The plants need the sun. We need sun. Just don't overdo it.
Look, there are no crops. There is nothing blossoming. There's no fruit. There is nothing without the sun. So for somebody to buy into it, the sun is cancer producing. Let's take the sun out and let's see what life is left. Nothing. There'd be nothing.
There'll be nothing.
We would starve. There'd be no foods. There'd be no plants. There'd be no seaweeds. There'd be nothing. We would disappear. We would disappear. Let me give you a good one that, again, very few people know. The power of the sun on the bones. It's even beyond life. As you've heard of poachers, and I've been so active against it, when they take the tusks from elephants, they're worth a lot of money, but they're illegal. So they hide them and cover them not to be visible. So they don't get any light. Guess what happens? They turn into dust. Because even the ivory, without the sunlight, goes to dust, like our bones.
Yeah.
So when you take the same ivory and you put it in the sunlight, it will be preserved as the day it was cut. Isn't that amazing?
It is. It is amazing. It really is.
So the sun actually maintains the structure of our bones so well that even beyond life of system support, the bones are fine. That's kind of crazy to even imagine the power of the sun. You know, Egyptians had it right. They had a whole culture around the sun, the god of Ra, or Ra, the sun, because they realized that the sun and the moon had a relationship. The moon would spill the water out, and they would plant with the new moon and harvest with the full moon, right? And they understood that the cycles of the sun would change because of how the earth moves around the sun. So they knew the years that there'd be less crop or there'd be more crop because of it. So they were able to plan to have more food or have less food, and they were able to manage how much they would sell in the market and how much they would hold back for the years that had less. Egyptians understood the power of the sun and the moon. It works together.
I believe that. It definitely works together. Well,
okay, let me tell you something new. So the same thing happens in our body. We get our nutrients from the sun the way plants do it during a day, right? And it's miraculous. You may eat a bad food. You may have one or too many wines. You go to sleep and you wake up pretty clear in the morning. You kind of figure the body will take care of itself, right? We're used to that.
Yep.
Oh, I'll be fine in the morning. So you go and take a nap. Well, what happens is the moon steps in and creates movement of your fluid, like a high tide and low tide. So it moves nutrients where they need it and washes out toxins where they don't belong. That's the power of the moon. And the power of the sun is to provide all the nutrients in your body. So the moon has something to do with it. It has something to move about. Isn't this so simple?
You know what? You make so much sense. I always love hearing from you because you're passionate. You do your research. Again, whether people agree with you or not, to me, it makes sense. I say we all need sun.
Yes.
Go out there, moderation. You want to use SPF? Let's just look to see what's in that SPF. What are the ingredients?
Yes.
Be smart.
Yeah, this is the thing. We are so reliant on authority by the diploma on the wall that everything they recommend, they truly have researched all side effects, that they are acting from the highest ethics. And I have come to conclude it isn't so anymore. Because many people have a diploma and they believe that by having a diploma or graduating, a great school, they can't be wrong.
Right.
And so they act from the place of great authority. And we believe that if they study in such a hard school, they probably still do research. And I'm finding that is not the case. I really recommend for each person individually.
Yes.
Best in their own research. If something doesn't feel good in your gut, then you're right. Look into it. Right. And I think the peer pressure is the worst factor right now.
Yes. Everybody needs to do what is right for their body. I totally believe that. Nobody should tell you what to do. And
I have a funny story. So I was invited on a clubhouse to be a speaker. It was like a couple thousand people. And again, a lot of believers sun is cancer producing, right? So everybody want to make disclaimers. Oh my God, cancer producing. And I said, well, it's mostly what you put on the skin when you go in the sun, which causes the pores to enlarge, so it allows whatever is on top of your skin actually to go in your system, in your blood.
Yeah.
So we left it at that because they started with disclaimer, oh my God, the sun causes cancer. Fine. I click off as a speaker. The next speaker comes in. She is rehabilitating reptiles. And she has a great photo with incredible python. And the moderator says, so you're doing an incredible job for the for the reptiles. Tell us, what's that story with this python? And she goes, well, I got this python for her rehabilitation because when he was a baby, he didn't get enough sun, so his skeletal system didn't develop.
Oh God! I knew you were going to say something having to do with the sun, but yeah, it's true. So Elisabeth,
who would expect that I get immediately back? Yes, sun matters. Yeah. Don't be afraid of the sun. We need enough of sun.
We need sun.
And she said now she exposed him to sunbathing. He shed his skin. His skeletal structure started to develop, and now he's a healthy python, and he loves her. Yay. I mean, look, I'm not into reptiles. They kind of scare me. I don't know where they're going or coming.
Tell our guests how they can get Replete Skincare, how they could find you.
Well, we have a website now that most of hotels are not being so active. So the easiest way is go to our website and get what you need. Mm-hmm. And it's repleteskincare.com. And you can learn all about it there. We try to give our clients a lot of information, and I can just brief you on, for example, our day cream not only evens out the skin tone, because we understand that you're first going to be exposing yourself to the sun and you have many holes from the previous product. So we make sure that the production of melanin in the color of your skin is going to be even tone. And the hydration goes up 6,000% in 21 days.
Wow.
Not 600, 6,000. So you really get 3D effect. Mm-hmm. The night cream puts you to sleep so that it has extracts of celery roots. Mm-hmm. Again, everything is natural. My formulas have no basis. We go from 37 of bioactives to 99 of bioactives in each product. Everything else you buy on the market has one active, not even bioactive. So it's the reverse of the market.
Okay.
And I would, it's a great circadian program where you build your resilience to the environment and you go to sleep, you repair, you detox. I think our number one leading items are the seasonal serums because they are good for sports. So you don't sweat, you can dive, you can play polo. Even when you're diving, we have nothing greasy, everything absorbs in the skin in 30 seconds. You can have your goggles, no problem. Yeah. You can have sports masks, no problem. In the winter, you ski, no frostbite. I mean, that's kind of amazing, right? So, yes. And even the day and night cream that feels richer, it absorbs. So your clothes are clean. I mean, I wear silks, suede, linens. Under a minute, I put them on, I walk out. There's no ring on the collar or the sleeves. It's clean. So that's why we started originally on the boats, because, keeping a boat clean from all the other skincare and SPFs was crazy. Mm-hmm. And it would stain. Our stuff clean, nothing. And you can dive into the ocean. The coral is safe. The kids are playful. You're not putting toxins near your brain. Right. I mean, seriously. I mean, that's,
Well, I want to thank you for being with us, for all your knowledge, and you're amazing. And I just always like to ask before we leave, being that you have been in Power Magazine before, what does the word power mean to you?
I think power is to have your own beacon of individuality where you more of yourself and less of what society expects, where you have enough power of being a leader without the fear of being attacked. Because every leader and every scientist coming out with new understanding of the new world, of new way of living, gets ridiculed. So you have to have power, is to be armed enough with information and belief and understanding who you are and what you are offering to people for their benefit. And it has to come from an authentic place of wanting a well-being for all. And that's power, because it has power to change for the better.
Wow.
And you're giving them information that it's hard to obtain. You have the power of the information you acquired through intense research.
Yes.
And nobody has time to do that unless they make that their work. You see? So that's power.
That's such a great answer. You know, you can't be afraid of what people think. You're so right. You have to stand up for yourself and not worry about being bullied. There's too much bullying going on.
Right.
And that's why
the bullying comes from fear of change. They don't want to be wrong. So coming from physical place, I can squash this so I don't have to look bad or stupid. The truth is, I believe my strength comes from, I want you to have a choice. Yeah. And for you to have a choice, you have to have the information.
Correct.
I have the information. So I'm sharing that information with you because I already have it, but I'm sharing it with you. And if you don't agree, that's your right. Because one thing God gave us, it's free will. Yes. That's the only thing we are identical about. And then decisions from that free will that are made are depending on your knowledge.
That's right. Well, thank you, Elisabeth. We love you, and thank you for being here. And
you too.
Knowledge, and we'll see you soon. Elisabeth Thieriot, everyone. Go get Replete Skincare. Bye.
Please do, and be happy and strong and resilient every day and every night, and morning wake up happy.
Glow in every way you can.
Yes. Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Power Talk Radio. We hope you were inspired by our show today and look forward to our next episode featuring another empowering woman. To learn more about being part of Power, go to powerwo.com. That's www.powerwoe.com and follow us on social media.